some other submissions you can get in that position now. So some of you guys probably already felt there, when you do this choke, there can be a really fine line between like one that's in super tight and one that's not really in at all. So there's going to be times where you get here, and just because of the way we landed here, he's got some space to breathe. So no matter how tight I squeeze my legs, I can't finish the choke, right? Which is fine. You don't want to burn your legs out trying to finish somebody. If you've squeezed, whatever, for like 10, 15 seconds, they haven't tapped, don't continue to burn energy. Just use this as a control position now. So now I'm going to attack his arm that I have the Kimura grip with. So I want to separate his hands, right? And it's fairly simple from this position. I just need to like lock a tight Kimura. I'm going to pull his elbow towards me. I'm going to punch his hand towards the floor to break the grip. Sometimes he'll get a grip on his belt or his gi. In that case, I need to pull his hand towards the ceiling. Right? As soon as you get his hand separated, his hand free from his body, I want to put his hand to the mat behind his butt, down by his hip. So you don't want to try to come up with a Kimura while his hand's in front of his body. You want to get his hand to the floor. Once his hand's on the floor, now I can work to come up. I'm just going to open my legs. I'm going to sort of scissor my legs, put my head down, and come up. So come to this top position now. My weight is supported by my head. I need to switch my angle, so I'm going to drop my right hip onto his hip. I'm going to walk my foot up a little bit so I can start to push my foot up, push myself up. As I come up, I'm going to pull his elbow to my chest and bring his hand towards his head. Finish. So we get the position. You can't finish the choke. Sometimes you might not even be able to tighten your legs up and you can't get it. So this is when you want to start to fight his hands. Right? So I'm going to pull his elbow up, pull his elbow to my chest, and punch his hand towards the floor. Right, to break the grip. Put the hand on the mat. Make sure the hand is on the mat, like somewhat behind his back before you try to come up. And then I put my head down, my butt comes up. Come up on top. From here I'm going to drop, so my right hip goes to his hip, my legs spread out wide. I push myself up. I'm just going to pull his elbow towards me and push his hand towards his head. That's if they have their hands connected. Sometimes, like I said, he'll have his hand gripping onto his gi or his belt. In this case, you use the Kimura grip, and you just yank his hand towards the ceiling. And then to the floor, and then come up, and then sit up. There's also another sort of Kimura you can use from here. Secure his arm. If this arm is kind of floating free, this isn't like a real high percentage move, but you can definitely get people with it. I'm going to keep his elbow pinned with my left ankle. I'm going to push his wrist towards my knee. Okay. It's kind of like a cheap move, but a lot of times what that does is it makes his hand tip away, and then I can attack the near side arm. So, one more time. You get some on your leg. You secure the arm. You can't get the choke, so now you're going to attack the arm. So pull the elbow to your chest, push your hand towards the floor, hand to the mat. Come up onto your head, and then sort of work yourself back. I want to go hip to hip with them, spread my legs, work my way up. All right? 1, 2, 3.